David Benjamin, ESPN. Ty, third quarter has been obviously your Achilles heel, regular season and postseason. Boston cut it to 8, and you finished the quarter on a 7-2 run. What did you see out of your team in that moment, and what did that do to help you get this win?
I just think just turning the basketball over has been killing us in this series. I think our half-court defense is really solid. We're doing a good job, but transition and turnovers is allowing them to, get out and get easy baskets. So we got to just take those away. We had 19 turnovers for 19 points, and when we had a chance to increase and extend the lead, we turned the basketball over or, didn't get back in transition, which allowed them to get some confidence. But overall, I thought we did a good job. Maintain our composure. They took some shots that they probably normally wouldn't have taken, but they made them, so it made it look like, made it a closer game. But we like where we're at. We like what we're doing defensively, shooting 41%. So we just got to do a better job taking care of the basketball.
Just specifically at the end of the third quarter, did that feel like a momentum swing for you guys?
I don't even remember, Dave.
Kyle jumped on the floor for
a knocked it out. Yeah, I mean, it all goes together. I really don't remember. I don't. No, I really don't. I'm not even being smart today.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Tonight, 15 assists on 41 field goals, so the ball seemed to slow down. But was this a night where that kind of had to happen, whether it was Boston's defense or because of the turnovers?
I thought it had to happen. I thought we got a little stagnant in that fourth quarter, but we wanted to go LeBron, in that fourth quarter to set the tone when he came back in. But they're switching a lot of stuff, and when they're switching, you're going to be stagnant. So we just got to try to find a mismatch, and we did a good job of that tonight. Kevin got some easy baskets, and give Kevin credit. He stuck with it. He got in foul trouble, but he came in that fourth quarter, made some big baskets, and really helped us out while LeBron was getting his rest. So just, they're going to switch, just find the matchup, and just got to take advantage of it. And if that calls for making a pass out or taking advantage of the smaller guy, then we got to do that.
You guys were so careful with the ball last series. Can you correct this, or is the way Boston playing, you're going to have to weather it?
We can correct it. It's us. I mean, they play great defense. They're physical, but a lot of times it's in transition. When we get out and run, got numbers, but we making, careless passes, in transition. So, we got to take advantage of those moments. We're up 16, 18, like take it to 25, 26 to really increase the lead. And, every time we get a chance to do that, we kind of turn the basketball over. So that's been hurting us.
Ty, Kenny Rhoda, WHBC. Tristan Thompson, the emergence of Tristan in these playoffs. What has he done to pick you up in Game 7 against the Pacers, and then the job he's done on Horford and what he did tonight to get you to 2-2?
He's been great. And the biggest thing, I think, Tristan, he's gotten healthy. When he had the time off, he really did a good job of working on his body, playing 5-on-5 with the guys, staying in shape. And he was a pro about it, and you have somebody like Tristan, you've been to 3 straight finals, and, and he doesn't play, like it's tough. And he could have gave in, but he stayed the course. He continued to, work on his body, work on his game, and called his number in Game 7. He was ready to go, and the rest is history. So he's been great in the Toronto series. Tonight, just being physical, rebounding the basketball, and doing a good job on Al. And we need him to continue to do that.
What do you say to your team now? It's 2-2 with 3 games left. What's the message going to be to the guys from this point forward?
The message is have the same approach going into Boston. I think playing with more speed and more pace, pushing the basketball. I think taking care of the basketball is the most important, especially on the road. You don't want to turn the ball over when you get to Boston, because they really thrive off that dunks, threes, layups. So just the message is continue to play like we played at home, but taking care of the basketball. Can't have 19 turnovers.
I know you said it all runs together, and Dave kind of alluded to it, but the Kyle play, when he chased the ball down the court and dove, what does that mean? Do you remember that play? And just
that means that's a guy that's all about winning, and whatever it takes to win. You very rarely see a 36-year-old running full speed against Marcus Smart, against Rozier, and diving for the loose ball and laid it out on the line. And Kyle's just a pro's pro, man. He does everything right every night. He gives it 100%. Effort every single night, and tonight having 3 blocks, he had a couple of strips, and I mean, you just can't say enough about him. And, the veteran guys that we've had to come through here, like Channing Frye and Richard Jefferson and James Jones, and they know what it takes and understand what it takes to win. He's 37 now?
Yeah.
God dang. And we playing him too many minutes. We need him, though. We need him.
Kind of a bigger picture. Guys have said before, when you win a playoff game, you feel like you're never going to lose again. You're going to win a championship. When you lose a playoff game, you're never going to win again. The season's over. When you're down 0-2 and you come back to 2-2, you're a former player. Do you have to fight those emotions? Do you feel that as a coach? Do you feel like you're never going to win again after a loss and nothing can stop you after a win? And how do you keep a level head?
I really don't feel that way. I think the playoffs is a game of adjustments, a game of matchups. I think our coaching staff does a great job of preparing us, preparing the guys for situations. And I just think you got to stay right here. And you can't read what you write. You can't read what Dave said. Listen what Dave says. Rachel has some company up there that says a lot of different things. So you just got to stay here. Don't listen to it. You can watch the highlights, but don't listen to it. So I watch the games on mute. If we win 10 in a row or lose 10 in a row, I just stay right here. We're usually right. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, well, Davey is not you.
Tyronn Potesta, the Sports Animal 1390. This team has lived and died with a three-point shot all year long. In Boston, a combined 14 of 57, just under 25%. For the last two games here in Cleveland, 25 of 57, just under 44%. What is it about this place where we're able to hit threes? Was it anything different, but more wide-open threes here?
No, I thought we got open threes in that game one, especially in that first half, but we're home. And our fans were electric again tonight. They were great. And Kyle Korver got that loose ball. They went crazy. When they fouled Rozier on a three-point shot, he missed the first two. It was loud as any place I've ever been in. So we're home. We feel good. Our fans are behind us. The guys feel better at home. So we just got to take it on the road, just win one game.
You taking anything out of this town and bring it into Boston?
I wish I could. I wish I could. Oh.
Ty, Spencer Davies, Basketball Insiders. You keep mentioning how you want to play with speed and play more fast on the road in Boston, but how do you take that hustle and the hustle plays and on the road especially, because that's what Boston's identity is. They're the guys that scrap, but you guys were the scrappy ones tonight.
Just got to watch it in the blueprint, and we've been showing after Game 3, like this is who we are, this is who we have to be, and also the first half of Game 2, like we were physical, we was in the bodies, defensively we made the multiple effort, we was on point defensively, and I think you're gonna make shots at some point, but to set the tone defensively on the road is the most important thing.
And you guys seemed to keep them off the glass pretty well there in the second half. What was Tristan and Larry doing the best to keep Al and those guys off the boards?
Larry's athletic ability, offensive rebounding, and defensive rebound. He can just out-jump everybody. Tristan just being physical, keeping the body on guys. And I don't know how Kevin gets a lot of rebounds, but he does it. He moves his body, has great body position. He's strong. But, again, like I said, Kevin, got those 5 fouls in that fourth quarter. He really, played well, made a couple shots, a couple offensive rebounds, and really gave us a chance to rest Bron. And then bringing Bron back, we kind of, solidified the win. So total team effort. Korver was great. G. Hill was great. JR. So you just got to keep it going.
Ashley Bastock, Metro Networks. Ty, can you just talk about how you guys were able to continually utilize those mismatches against Rozier in your pick and roll sets?
No, ma'am.
You can't
I
give
love
me
you,
anything.
though.
You can't give me anything.
You are better. I'm telling you better than Jason Lloyd, but I cannot answer that
Do
question.
not get me into
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, listen, you're really good, but I don't want to. Keeps. Okay, get a follow up. I'm sorry. We want to. We want to have the movement. We want to try to take advantage of mismatches, and Rozier's a tough. He's a tough fighter, tough competitor. But, if you try to get switches, I guess he's the one you want to try to go at with Kevin and Bron because, the other 4 guys are the same size. They're strong. They're physical. So, the way they play, you got to try to take advantage of the mismatch, but they don't have a lot on the floor at the same time. So, To answer your question, we got to just get to it, and then we got to make the right plays out of it.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Ty, how much more comfortable do you feel Larry Nance Jr. is now at this point in the postseason than he was at the very start of it? And can you speak to his sequence at the end of the third quarter there?
I think he sees what it takes. I think having a chance to play in his first playoffs, and one thing about Larry, you're going to get effort. You're going to get toughness. He's not afraid, and I think now, sitting out for a few games and then coming back, I think he sees what it takes, and he did a good job of just keeping his body in shape, playing 5-on-5 with the guys. So the game has slowed down. He understands what it takes, what we need to do, and he's been great.
Ken Miller, congratulations, Coach. I, too, want to ask you about the play of Larry Nance. You talk about the core guys that have earned your trust. Has he, 10 minutes and 7 points, is very productive tonight. Has he gotten to the point to where he's earned your trust to be able to play more minutes?
Yes, I trust him. His verticality and block shots at the rim, his pick and roll ability and then be able to roll and create. If they pull in, we get threes. If they don't, he gets lobs and dunks or the late pass for finishes. So just his effort, being able to rebound the basketball, bring it out on the dribble. He does a lot of things at the 5 position. So he's definitely earned my trust, yes.
Scott Sargent, WFNY, just to kind of piggyback off of that, how much has Tristan and Larry, Larry had the energy, had the skill set to do what he's been doing, but Tristan's kind of led by example. Has that trickled down at all to him in terms of getting that to come up during the rest of the series?
If you watch during the timeouts, Tristan's always talking to Larry, just, telling him different things that he sees and what to do. And I think, it's kind of like big brother, they're around the same age, but Tristan's been there for him. Even when Tristan wasn't playing, he was still there talking to Larry, trying to get him through and what it takes and what you have to do. So they have a great relationship, and those two working, hand in hand has been good for us. And, the reason why he didn't play, it was hard to play 2 centers off the bench when Tristan was coming off the bench. Larry's come off the bench. So it's hard to play 2 5s off the bench. So, with Tristan starting, Larry's getting his opportunity, and he's making the most of it.
And historically here, whether it was Andy many years ago or Delly a couple of years back, Cleveland has always had that energy guy that's kind of gotten the crowd going. Is Tristan that guy right now for you?
Tristan and Larry, they both are. And, Tristan, when he's rebounding the basketball, big blocks, finishing at the rim, those are big plays for us. And Larry, the same thing. Verticality, block shots, loose balls, dunking around the rim. Those are huge, especially at home, getting the crowd into it. So they're both a pretty big part of what we're doing. Yep.